Hi there, I'm
Hey
Foxy Brown.
Josh.
How's it going?
Hola, it's going very well. Thank you for being an incredible audience that supports our industry and all that we adventurously want to do.
Well, congrats on this excellent and very scary series. How do you explain it to people that maybe are not familiar with this anthology?
Well, if they, I would lead in if they like horror, if they're interested in horror, and
Yeah.
can they be horrified?
Yeah.
Can they be scared? Challenging. Can you be scared? You want to lock the door and turn the lights on?
Hmm.
Because this is a anthology, a series about people who have no control of some things that are happening paranormally, politically, right? I mean, there's some things that are happening that you didn't expect, and every turn, every corner is a mystery, not solved, but presented.
Hmm.
And that's what I was drawn to. And then to see my character who's stands tall and very strong and supportive of protecting her family is no longer, and she has a secret that can affect everyone. And so there's so many wonderful elements. It's not just one, it's many,
Hmm.
that it reaches every corner of your subconscious and conscious minds, of security and what's vulnerable,
Hmm.
how dangerous. Horror is a vulnerability that you have to open up the filters and you can't protect yourself.
Without giving too much away, can you tell me a little bit more about your character?
My character is a very protective mom and grandmother who has
Mhm.
lived through the civil rights at unrest and has seen a lot and still trying to stand tall with the secret that she keeps from her family. And as she's aging, she's losing her physical and mental stability. And now there's these supernatural, paranormal elements that are injected into her life. And she doesn't know if it's psychoses, real, or fantasy. And she's losing control. And it's frightening. Like with the washing machine, it turns into an aggressive, animal almost attacking her, and she doesn't know if it's real or true or what's going on. And it
Mhm.
continues. And when you have that element, it used to be in control and comforting. It is not. And you don't know why, and you don't know how to protect yourself or your family.
Yeah.
And this is a part of things that you can't reveal or talk about. And
Did you
that's it. It's
always
mystery, thriller, and horror all in one.
were you always aware of how important your role was going to be?
Yes, such that there are times where I I suffered physically. I told I'm going to have therapy. I'm
Uh,
gonna um when you're so close to a role, you do suffer or experience physiological, elements, and in my anxiety, my heart racing, my perspiring, the living the scenes, going through everything. It's physical,
yeah.
and it's I'm not that detached. I'm really in it.
Hmm.
I'm really there. Or I can't do it. But Little Marvin convinced me that he saw that in me and that I could do it, and that I'm not afraid of aging. I'm not afraid of showing wrinkles or sagging or gray hair or, I'm really there. And a lot of people are afraid of aging. They're afraid of life. You can't be afraid of life in this story.
Well, it takes place in Los Angeles, 1991, which is a very interesting time, especially to set something frightening. Why do you think specifically this makes such a poignant era in time for a horror series?
It was a time where the civil rights issues were won and people were congratulating and experiencing each other's cultures. And now in the 90s, they're being pulled apart politically, racially, artistically. And so that was a volatile time because we had already found our music together, going to each other's concerts, trying to enjoy each other's culture. And now, politically, who's throwing the gas on the flames,
Hmm.
what's happening, and how do we confront it every day? How do we live next door to one another and not know what that family, culture, politically, racially is going to do? It was a volatile time. And so it reflects our comfort zone being shattered.
Were you living in LA in 1991?
No, no,
What
I
was
was living in Colorado. Um, I was taking care of family
Mhm.
and families first. And if I could afford to have had my family live in Los Angeles, then I probably would have brought them there,
Mhm.
but they wouldn't be maybe alive or comfortable today.
Well,
So I would have to travel to California. The luxury of living in Los Angeles would have been greatly appreciated by me. But unfortunately, my reality was taking care of family that had taken care of me through civil rights, through discourse, political discourse, or so many, to allow me to be an actor. I would have to fly to work. So I didn't have, but I was immersed in it, immersed in politics in various groups and supported it because going to UCLA, the first thing that, Sundiata, the all the Black Panthers. That was the discourse that was being very protective, but being dismantled by the forces that were taking over. And so I could see that, and I was hearing about it every day,
mhm.
and I wasn't there, but it affected me far away.
Yeah, and you were in the States still. The theme of fear is so present with this season. Why is fear so powerful, and does it have any benefits?
Fear is a part of our DNA.
Uh-huh.
Fear is what let us know how far we can go to be safe. Fear is where we need to go to find the truth of how to survive. Fear is finding our love and accepting it. Love, and when love doesn't exist. So when you have fear of lacking water, fear of lacking food, fear of lacking electricity, fear of lacking a society that cares for each other, that's the element that has to keep us alert, is fear.
Have you ever coped with specific phobias or even general anxiety?
Yes, yes. Any war that's going on, I am highly anxious. I don't like to see atrocities, Holocausts. I come from a Native American background as well, and I hear a lot of the stories and folklore. And then to what we're seeing today, and knowing some of my friends are involved with that, and the fear of women being, oppressed, and me being oppressed. There's a lot that I think of and that I'm a party of. I don't hide my head in the sand. I'm there to comfort, there to understand all the things that are going on. And I do have anxiety. I know when to be quiet, when to confine myself so that I, don't step out, because I take care of rescued animals, so they need me. And
You do.
people that I take, yeah, they need me because I found a sanctuary. I'm a sanctuary for many people and animals. And so I fear of people losing or being abused or shot or maimed or going or starved. I fear that, and I share their anxiety because I want to be able to provide comfort to them.
Well, in the last year or so, I've seen you in more horror projects than ever before with them and at Cemetery.
Yes.
Is it a coincidence?
Um, there are no coincidences. There are things that come to you in the universe that I, wanted to show. I work with Stephen King. I wanted to show the horror, the sci-fi, and the fact that today's technology and CGI and camera and equipment is capable of really bringing the deepest, darkest artistic sense of our imagination. So with that, the humanity, the blood and guts, and the science, it's like awesome. I'm playing in the field of it, and I look forward to even more.
Wow. Well, that's great to hear. Thank you so much for talking with us today. It was wonderful.
I'm glad. Thank you. I hope I gave you a lot of layers. Thank you for supporting our industry.
Of course. Of course.